Right. Hello, Games Committee. This is Arzette the Jewel of Faramore, and I am 3Pub. I probably should say that first, but yeah, you know. This is Arzette the Jewel of Faramore, game near and dear to my heart, and I have a very special showcase for y'all today. I'll explain what's going on in just a second. I'll leave it a surprise, mostly because we have to watch some cutscenes. So we're gonna go ahead and go new game here, start in casual mode, and while we're in cutscenes, you might be wondering why this is called Spoon Percent. And so, if you may not already know, Arzette is inspired by the Zelda games that came out on the Philips CDI. And the Philips CDI was a console of all time for many reasons. The biggest one of the biggest ones, being its controller. And it looks like this. I call it the spoon because it looks like you can eat cereal with it. Just, Um, that's just my silly concept for the speedrun. I'm gonna play this game on a controller that I do not know exactly how they intended a human being to hold this. So yeah. You may not also be wondering, why are we watching the cutscenes? Can you not skip these? And so yeah, about that. I, because of technical difficulties on my end, in order to complete the speed run, I had to change up the key bindings on this controller. And one of the things I had to do to get things working is I had to unbind the button to skip cutscenes. Like, I'm going to push buttons, it's going to tell me to push LB. I don't have an LB button. I can't skip these cutscenes, we have to watch them. So consider this speedrun kind of a cutscene percent, or a watch the cutscenes percent, whatever you want to call it. Just because, that's just kind of how it is. I don't think this situation would be the same if I was on site at the event, because I assume I would be using a Windows machine when I was on site, and I think would properly map all the buttons. But I am recording this with the assumption that I have to watch all the cutscenes. And I'm going to design my incentive ideas that I have for this run with the idea in mind that we are watching the cutscenes. There are other parts of this game that I would like to show off that do involve showing off some of the cutscenes. I think that could be fun. We're wrapping up finally here, I think, in just a second. But yeah, that's the basic gist. I'm going to be playing on this thing. Try my very best. I would also maybe imagine that this would be a situation where a hand cam would be really nice. I'll try to keep my hands on screen for y'all to see just how painful it is to play this game with this controller. I have to use both hands. I do still use the speedrun tech to the best of my ability, including some really tricky, glitches that I have to pull off with very precise execution on a spoon. But yeah, you get to play the video game now. So, we're playing Arzette on a spoon. Normally, you could skip the tutorial, but once again, I do not have a cutscene skip button. So, we're going to just, learn how to play the game. Try bombing some column.
Allows you to enter doors and climb ladders. Go in that door. You can crouch by moving down. Moving while crouching lets you.
So this tutorial sequence is incredibly scripted, to the point where you saw me standing by the door and unable to leave. Yeah, the game literally will not let me leave the room until the voice narration says, "Hey, try bombing some column." And that's the same thing right here. It won't let me leave until the voice narration is done, so we're going to stand here for a minute.
Teleportation scrolls allow you to exit to the world map quickly. Go ahead, take off.
Okay, now we can leave. And actually get started with the game.
Have some fun.
So yeah, this is Arzette the Jewel of Faramore. It is a 2D action adventure platformy thing. Once again, inspired by the Zelda CDI games, so it has a lot of Zelda DNA in it. But like in really weird ways. It maintains a lot of the design language from the Zelda CDI games. So if anyone is familiar with Zelda, you'll be like, "Wait, why are the red rupees 1 rupee?" And like, yeah, that's just how it was. They didn't really know what colors meant what. So yeah. Here in this first level here, we actually have a very important sequence break coming up. A dev-intended sequence break, which I've always thought is cool. Normally, in the main game, you have to go on this long quest to go find a lantern, and then take the lantern, and go do some other things, and stuff that we don't want to do. And to go get a soul gun, which does sound cool, but again, we're speedrunners, and we do not have time for that. So, we're going to go ahead and jump down here to the secret area underneath here. We're going to take some intentional damage to set up a death. Grab the sword waves. And then take a death. Because walking through this room is a pain. And now we have sword beams. And this is where the spoon gets even worse, because now I have to hold a button while also like moving and jumping and just some real nightmarish stuff. Alright, we're gonna go here, we're gonna grab that fly, cool. That's for a quest that we will need later. And then wrap up the rest of this level here with just some platforming. Oh, okay. In general, with my movement, I'm trying to be as particular with it as I can, making sure that I only attack when I'm in the air. That just lets Arzette react a bit faster than if I were to attack from the ground. And then we're going to go ahead and stab this pillar here to get our first, like, end of area cutscene. These cutscenes are great. I love all the cutscenes in this game, though I do imagine that this would be points where I would hand over to the host.
Golly, it's Arzette!
Ho ho! You've already lit a beacon.
I doubt the rest will be that easy. Any new info?
Indeed. My scouts have reported blockades enchanted with color magic.
How am I supposed to get through them?
You'll need a tool that can fire magic of the same color.
Great. Something else I have to find.
Careful, Arzette. Don't get red in the face.
Ugh. Tell me there's only one color to deal with.
To my knowledge, there are...
No, I don't know why this cutscene is inexplicably in 3D. Just happens.
So blue, princess.
I'm going back now.
Alright, back to the spoon we go. The unintended cool thing about having to watch all the cutscenes for this run is that I do get to give my hands a nice break between levels. So, right there, you saw me kill that, like, guy wielding a giant, like, tree trunk as a weapon in 1 hit. Normally, those things take 2 hits. There's a glitch, though, called sword crits, where if I were to release my sword beam and touch my extended sword to an enemy, I deal double damage, which lets me kill enemies a lot faster. It's already a pretty difficult trick to pull off, but now I have to pull it off with a spoon. So that's fun. We're gonna go here, try to fish for some bombs. We did not get them, but that's fine. And we get another break.
Any news?
The forces of evil underestimated your prowess. I believe they may fear you.
Ha! Well, they can join the club.
Where's my father?
His Majesty requests your presence.
Oh boy!
Alone!
Father?
I'd hoped to see you, Arzette. I'm not long for this world.
It'll soon be up to you to lead Faramore.
Don't talk that way. Even if it were true, I can't lead a kingdom.
You will lead this kingdom to its best days. I'm certain of it.
I must return to my quest. Goodbye, Father.
Okay. Now we're on to our next level here, Norin Swamp. This level sucks for lots of reasons, but the big one is this jump right here. Okay, we got it. That's a very particular jump we have to hit in order to walk across that like platform right there and get the perfect timing. Because if I miss that timing, I either die
Would you mind stepping
or I'm too late and I jump into the swamp instead of jumping on that platform. Normally in the speedrun, I skip these quest intros that introduce like what the quest is and where you need to go find. But I figure we're watching the cutscenes anyway, so let's just watch all of the cutscenes that are available in the run. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go.
They say, bon appetit. Exquisite. Quite. Now I shall partake in a
Gotta really show off the spoon. Alright, this room can be a little scary sometimes, and I don't like how much health I have. Nah. Okay. Okay, we got some HP there. Oop. Nope. Nope. Okay. We're fine, we're fine. Okay. Alright. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and the rest of this level was not super eventful, but we do get an important movement ability here. We get the ability to double jump, and that's cool because double jumping is cool. I am monitoring my health decently close. Because we're playing on the casual difficulty, I do get health pickups from monsters. You don't normally get that on higher difficulties. So I do have some freedom to take some intentional damage boosting here and there, just to like skip past enemies and stuff. But like I also only have 3 HP, and I will only have 3 HP for the entirety of the game. So that could still be dangerous. There is still reason to be careful to some extent. I want to prematurely detonate a bomb by throwing the sword wave at it, because that looks cool. And we got another cutscene, and our next handbrake. Giving your hands a break is important and good. I guess to, again, reiterate, because of my current tech setup, I can't skip cutscenes. I imagine that's not a problem when I'm on site. I'm gonna create the submission with the assumption that we are watching the cutscenes, but I am, of course, open to, assuming the tech does work out on site, I'm, of course, open to making watching the cutscenes its own incentive. But, as I mentioned earlier, I do have some some incentive ideas that do involve watching cutscenes after the run, that I will show off after the run's over.
I'm glad you're here. Arzette, you're Faramore's future. And the best part of my life. I love you.
I love you too, Father.
Just pulling up a guide
Do
for
more than defeat Dimer's
the other one of the incentives I want to show off.
End it. For good.
Okay. Next up, we're going to go to Spriggan Volcano. This is a level that's been made a lot harder on the spoon, because it's not a very difficult level normally. It's just a platforming challenge. But now, I'm being expected to do precise platforming with the spoon. Took a little bit of a death there that was not great, but, you know, it's fine. We're chilling. Oh. Grab some extra items here. We're gonna need this to complete a quest. We're gonna go in here. I'm gonna take a quick detour back to Fairmore Town. Just to go buy some bombs. We will need these a little later. Need to exit the map. Cool. Now we're gonna go to the peaks. And this is gonna be where we show off our first boss fight, which the boss fights are especially interesting with the spoon controller because the boss fights all have very particular quick kill setups. Quick kill setups that suddenly become a lot more difficult to pull off when you're playing on a controller made to eat cereal. Yeah, if you remember my explanation from earlier, talking about sword crits, this boss coming up here normally just dies to 2 sword crits, which usually is fairly easy to pull off once you have the execution of sword crits down. Alas, I don't have the execution of sword crits down on the spoon, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm looking for jewel shards.
I too seek treasure in warmer places.
The only notes I had to say on this cutscene are, let's go lesbians.
Bring it to me,
Why should I?
my dear.
And speaking of let's go lesbians, that is
Places for jewels.
the inspiration for one of the incentive ideas that I have for after the run.
I can give you protection against evil energy if you help me.
About that pendant.
Well, I certainly won't be needing it anymore. Farewell.
Okay. I'm grabbing these candles, by the way, just because they are the collectibles that we need to unlock the boss doors, like right here. I'm going to hold the sword beam button here, because we need to try to pull off a sword crit
I'll
here.
say, on top of a peak, this timer paid
So this
off.
boss is going to disappear, and then spawn in a random direction, and then run towards me. I need to sword crit her on my way down from jumping,
Better pray.
and then she'll despawn, and then either throw a dagger at me, which I don't want to see, or she'll run at me and I have to sword crit her again. Like that. That's the first one. That's good. Alright, I think we're fine here. Yeah, we're fine. Not the quickest kill, but I've definitely had worse. Alright, we're fine there. We're going to go to Raiha River now. Take a quick little detour here to grab another candle. I don't remember the exact. I can't remember the exact amount of candles we need. I think it's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 candles around there. We've routed. The community has routed. Oh, that's fine. You do need the bomb go off. Okay. Please, thank you. I have extra bombs, so that's fine. But that's still a bit silly. I'm not even necessarily sure I can really blame the spoon for that. Did that one a little safe there just because I don't want to die. Dying isn't the worst in this game, but it does spawn you back at the start of whatever room you're in. So we now have the power of blue magic. You've been seeing me fire off these sword beams with the power of red magic. I actually want to go grab these bombs real quick. Thank you. we use red magic to open up the red walls that I've been hitting throughout the game, but now there are blue walls that we need to hit, and so we need access to blue magic for that. Did bump my head on the undercarriage area there, which was not great, but do a quick little damage boost strat through that. I will talk to an NPC here, because we will talk to him later, so we're going to go ahead and get his intro cutscene out of the way now.
I love speed. I want to run faster, but the hot sand hurts. Ow! Love the chat, but gotta go. See ya. Ow!
Jump on this roof here to grab another candle. That's pretty easy to grab. Here we are actually grabbing another kind of important item. It's just important for a couple of checks that we need to... Or not, a couple of items we need to go get. The Fatal Flute. It's a flute that doots and lets us destroy green walls. And we're going to go ahead and just run to the finish here and get to our next cutscene. Give my hand another break. I have to... The holding it at this angle is so strange.
What's up?
Through your actions, Daimer's forces are critically weak. I fear he'll resort to more cunning tricks to gain the advantage. That incessant noise reminds me. Some instruments in this world are magical. Playing them in the right place will reveal the previously unseen.
Yeah, this cutscene is telling us about the flute we just picked up.
Is that what
So,
you're trying
yeah.
to do to us?
Got it.
Alright. Now we're moving on to Fort Fingula, the hardest level in the run. Ooh, let's switch back to red there so I can shoot that guy. Get that key. No, thankfully no longer need to go in that room anymore. That room is mean and scary. We're going to switch back to blue here. Get that guy, and then we're going to get our flute. Doot the flute. To go grab these shoes. Remember that guy we talked to earlier? He wants some shoes. And now we're going to just sword crit those guys so they're out of our way. And then we're going to set up a very particular death abuse here. We're going to go down to 1 HP. I'm going to kill that guy so he doesn't get in my way. I'm going to grab this key, and I'm going to die, saving the key in my inventory, but respawning me back at the start of the room. Just saves a bit of time getting to where we need to go. I don't want to get hit by that, but I will die. Health is always good. Get through that. Thankfully, not that painful. Just going to slide into here to grab another candle. Switch back to red magic to open that door. In the normal vanilla game, ladders are our nemesis. Arzette's very sticky to ladders. It's even worse on the spoon controller because, like, this is not a D-pad, it's a D-circle. And I basically have very little, if any, control over what direction I'm pointing in. I'm just hoping for the best.
Nothing comes between me and my gold. Nothing!
So this boss is a little bit simple. We're going to try to open with a sword crit here, which we did. Cool. And then we need to avoid these fireballs and then just shoot sword beams off in alternating directions. Preferably avoiding those fireballs, but we're fine. Wow. I did die, but I killed him before I died. So we're good. Okay, cool. Alright, we're going to head back to the beach just really quick. Remember those boots we picked up? We need to go turn them in. I talk to this guy again, give him the boots, and then he will give us some shoes at double our speed.
I gotta go. Time to run.
Going fast is pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Lichen Hills. Another fairly straightforward level here. We are going to take a detour to grab another candle. I'm a little bit worried about how much HP I have. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to walk in here and take a death, just to be safe. I'd rather take a death now than take a death at the bottom and lose a bunch of time. We'll take a hit here to damage boost through him, because those enemies are annoying. I would like HP to feel a little less worried. Cool. Alright. That room is deceptively hard, so not dying in it is always nice. I will take a heal here. I am setting up another I'm setting up another death abuse here, but I do want to make sure I don't die prematurely. So we're going to go ahead and take a hit from that guy, throw a bomb, blow it up, grab a candle up here, and then get our flute out. Doot our flute. Doot. And then go ahead and grab a key, and then we set that death abuse. We're going to go ahead and die. We'll teleport us back to the start of this long room, which skips a pretty long backtrack to where we need to go, right here. For our final pillar. The final pillar, which unlocks our last set of levels, but we're not quite done yet. We still have 3 bosses to defeat.
I can reach Dimer's lair. What's the plan?
Take all 5 retrieved jewel shards to the smith. He'll restore them into the Jewel of Faramore. You'll then use the jewel to imprison Daimur in the Book of Ocarin.
So we're just repeating the past?
Not exactly. Hi, won't be there this time.
This is another
I
reference
guess I better
to
get going.
Zelda the Wand of Gamelon,
Kingdom is counting on you.
wherein Zelda defeats Ganon by throwing a book at him, trap him in the book.
Don't forget this. Throw the book at him, Arzy.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to take a quick detour here to Dimer's lair, just to walk in here and grab a candle. And then we're going to exit. And then we're going to enter Denny's castle. Oh, or we're not. Okay. Try again. Thank you. So, I think Fort Fingula is a little bit harder, but this level does have some difficult bits. Like right here, I need to blindly hit some lanterns that are in the darkness to unlock the path I need to... Oop! Okay, there we go. Okay. And then, again in the darkness, need to wander over here to destroy that barricade to grab this candle right here. Definitely tricky, even normally. Even trickier on a spoon. I'm gonna try to set up another little quick kill here. Get stabbed by that guy. Cool. Got the key, so we're saved. And we're gonna wander in here. And we're gonna grab another candle. Almost our last one. Just walk through those guys. This is, however, the worst boss fight. I will try my best. This boss has a quick kill that's hard to execute normally. And it's even worse on a spoon.
Unlike you, I value my honor.
So, normally the way I start this fight is I try to do the quick kill, usually do not succeed, and then just kind of wing it.
I don't think so.
You've interfered for far too long. Now join your father in death.
So, like, one of the many scary things about this guy is that his little fireball things deal 2 damage. Woo! Do not die here. Gonna play this a little bit safe here. Nope, not safe enough. That's fine. Yeah, I thought I was dead there. Okay. Play it safe here. Okay, we're good. Not the worst.
My father showed you mercy once. You're right.
Take a drink of water, because hydration is important.
I won't make the same mistake.
Cool. So, we are, again, not quite done. We have a little bit of cleanup to do. In that we have to kill 2 more bosses. One of which is in the first level of the game, right here. So we're back here, but we have a lot more movement now, including a double jump and, you know, double speed, so we're zooming a lot faster through here than we were before. And we get to show off this really funny kill here. So I'm gonna just prep a sword beam, shoot the boss before he even, like, spawns his cutscene to take one of his four hits off. Get one of my favorite cutscenes in the game, just because I think Arzette's giggle is really cute.
Rein it in.
And we just gotta sit still and sword beam him until he's dead. It's that simple. With that, we have collected 4 of our 5 purple Doritos, and we only have 1 more purple Dorito remaining. We're gonna go to Crease Canyon here. We will be picking up our final candle in this level, so that's why it wasn't lit up with exclamation point when we spawned in. I do always think this level looks pretty cool, because the way, like, when we enter here, we have so much movement, we're just kind of zooming through it. Okay. Fine, we're fine. Alright, we're gonna enter here with our final candle. Just walk up here, dispel the barrier, get a full heal here, and get ready for our final boss before the final boss. The way this boss is normally supposed to go is you sword crit him 4 times in a row, and you just kind of end it there. Sword critting even once on a spoon is pretty difficult, let alone doing it 4 times in a row. So once more, we will see how it goes. Also, this guy's name is Cornrad, and I think that's funny. Okay. I think we did get the 4 sword crits, it's just they weren't quite in a row, so it's fine. We do now have our final purple Dorito, which means it's time to actually go finish the game. So we're going to skip past here, over to here, and talk to this little swordsmith guy.
I'm here to restore the Jewel of Faramore into my sword. Can this be done?
I don't even need the whole jewel. May I? I present the Sword of Faramore. And I give you purple magic.
We do get the final classification of magic, purple magic, which is just the combination of red and blue, which means we can now open up any barricade, including purple barricades, which there is only 1 purple barricade in the game here in the final level. So this room's tricky, because we have these lanterns we need to light, but we know really roughly where they are. And I have a pretty, I think I did miss one. Okay. We'll take a death there and reset that. So we light our first one, then we're going to hug the left here to hit this barricade, this lantern, and then the next lantern. Then we fall down here to hit the final lantern, and then jump across a lava death pit to reach the next screen here. This screen is pretty simple. I'm trying to pick up some health though so I don't die here, because this screen is a nightmare. Cool, we're going to enter with mostly full health. Fun fact about this boss, this boss is going to throw some books at me, and this first set of books, for some reason, always deals 3 damage. The books after this screen, like in the later part of the fight, will deal 2. I don't know why the difference is, but I need to make sure I dodge these first couple books, because they will just kill me if I touch them.
I've heard enough.
Yeah, this isn't, like, really a fight, it's more of a platforming challenge. Because the time will be called as soon as I connect my sword with the boss one time. So we're going to jump over these books. We're going to take intentional damage from these spikes on the ceiling, because they only deal half of a part of damage, where the books deal 2. And we're going to just walk up and tap. Yeah. That is Arzette the Jewel of Faramore, 80%, but with a spoon.